Hello everyone, my name is Manjul and I'll be talking about designing for digital well-being in this presentation. First of all, what is digital well-being? As we all know, technology plays a big part in our lives today, and with the advent of smartphones, we are increasingly getting dependent on using them for different tasks throughout our day. We can perform many different tasks like browsing the web, checking emails, and using social media using our phones. But with this convenience also comes a challenge of overuse. Many studies have been conducted for identifying the negative impact of smartphone overuse, and it contributes as a source of distraction. Digital well being is a concept which helps you maintain a healthy relationship with technology and makes you aware of your own online usage. I'll be presenting the current research that has been conducted to achieve this. But first, let's go over the motivations for conducting this research. Technology overuse has a lot of adverse effects, which include smartphone addiction, where users form a habit of mindlessly checking their phones frequently and without any concrete intentions. This causes them to get distracted from the task at hand. It also has a negative impact on the mental health of the users, as they get anxious when they are not near their phones. Extensive social media use has also shown to make people more depressed. Technology overuse also affects our social interactions in real life and causes people to feel disconnected from their friends and loved ones. To curb these issues, HCI researchers are paying more attention to the field of intentional non use of technology, and a lot of research has looked into designing tools for monitoring, understanding, and limiting smartphone usage. The following two research papers present two researches done in this field. The first research paper presents an evaluation of the design challenges in this field and presents an app designed for introducing interventions in the smartphone usage. The second paper presents a comprehensive evaluation of existing digital well-being apps and also present an app which provides users the ability to self-monitor their usage. First paper was published in the CHI Proceedings of the year 2016 and the second one was published in CHI Proceedings of 2019. Productivity tools to help users self monitor or self limit have become common, but little research has evaluated such tools empirically. Even less research has examined the design considerations that are likely to make such tools effective. The purpose of this research was first to understand the design space in this field and to design an app based on the feedbacks from online surveys. Previous work has been conducted to identify design challenges in terms of lagging resistance, tools to support non use, behavior change in HCI, and mindfulness. The lagging resistance refers to short term non use decisions by active users as they balance time spent with technology with time spent without it. The tools to support non use refers to tools that promote productivity, reduce distractions, self monitor screen time, or restrict access to certain applications or features. The behavior changes in HCI have been studied for mobile phone based interventions to support behavior change in areas like physical activity, sleep, nutrition, stress reduction, and using sustainable transportation. The mindfulness refers to state of consciousness that promotes well-being and using this to self-monitor and reflect on goals for the day. For their preliminary study, researchers conducted an expert panel exercise where they brainstormed ideas for designing successful technology interventions and developed mock-ups. A formative online survey was also conducted with open-ended questions to gather information from actual users. After performing these tasks, a contextual analysis of the data identified possible solutions which were clustered into 8 overarching themes. These themes were then used to develop features to implement them. The timer function for displaying information like amount of time spent using an app. The charity function to reward users for staying off an app that they have marked distracting. Phobia feature, which displayed pictures of things the users didn't like as a form of punishment for spending too much time on an app. Scramble feature, which disrupted users' habits by periodically rearranging icons of frequently used apps. timeout feature, which limits an app's usage by automatically exiting it when users hit their cap. The aspiration feature, which promoted mindfulness by asking users their daily goals and periodically showing them when they spend too much time on distracting apps. The watermark feature displayed personally motivating pictures like an image representing a job user hopes to obtain as a background for distracting apps. And lastly, social, which allowed users to share their progress with others and gather social support. Among these features, timer, timeout, and aspirations were identified as the most popular features, while users had neutral opinions on watermark and charity features. Participants were disinterested in trying scramble, phobia, and social. For the second part of their study, the researchers developed an app called MyTime for implementing the three most popular features. In the first feature, a progress bar use time is with the app use time is displayed in the pull-down menu of the user's phone. Using this, the user can self-monitor and keep track of their app usage. The second feature displays a time's up dialog box as soon as the user reaches their app use time limit. And the third feature asks the users for their daily goals and display them in the time's up dialog box. A 2 week long deployment study with 23 participants yielded the following results. It was observed that interventions are effective in reducing smartphone use and help users achieve their self defined goals. 21% of participants spent significantly less time using their phones when My Time was turned on. It was also observed that time spent using monitored apps was reduced, while the time using the apps which participants found useful was unchanged. There were some limitations of the research too. It failed to explore how social interventions can support individuals in achieving their non use goals. It also did not explore context specific non use goals, like not using social media apps during work hours and restricting usage while having dinner. As the second part of this research was conducted only over a 2 week period, long term evaluation for behavior change could not be performed. The second paper builds on the research conducted in the previous paper. The primary motivation for this research was to perform a comprehensive analysis of existing digital well-being apps and their features, and it answers the research question that whether contemporary digital well-being apps can support the formation of new habits. For this research, the researchers selected a set of 42 apps. Through the descriptions of each app, they extracted a set of 19 features. The following were the findings. Most popular features were for tracking and visualizing the data, which included phone and app use summary, typically using charts and graphs. Apps also offered features for reducing addiction through interventions like app timers, app blockers, and notification blockers. Other not so popular features include providing support through motivational quotes and rewarding users for completing a self defined goal. The researchers also performed a thematic content analysis, performed a perusal of the one the researchers also performed a perusal of the 1128 reviews posted for these apps, and a thematic content analysis showed why users liked or disliked these apps. These reviews were categorized into two categories: why users like digital well-being apps and why users don't like digital well-being apps. For the first category, users were fascinated by the vast use cases and liked the features for controlling unhealthy behaviors. Users also liked different types of features and proposed improvements for them. For the second category, users reported that bugs affect the usefulness and usability of the app and said that unrestricted solutions are useless to reduce addictions. Users also raised concerns on privacy as they thought some apps were too intrusive. Based on these qualitative analysis, the researchers built their own digital well-being app called Socialize. This app provided features for self-monitoring and interventions. A within subject in the wild study was conducted with 38 participants who used the application for 3 weeks. The app recorded their phone usage data as well as their app usage data. And after performing quantitative analysis on this data, the following results were observed. Users were more likely to prefer restrictive features more than self-monitoring features. They were also more interested in controlling usage of specific apps rather than their entire phone usage. With the qualitative analysis, it was observed that contemporary digital well-being apps are more focused on breaking existing habits rather than building new habits, and that they are rarely take into account social supporting techniques. The limitations of this research were minor, but they opened possibilities for future research in this area. As the researchers mentioned in the paper, their review analysis only utilized reviews that were posted on the Google Play Store, and they tend to be influenced by bimodal and extreme viewpoints. Their In the Wild study was conducted for a short period of time with limited participants, and thus does not capture the whole gamut of user experiences. This research can also be extended to evaluate technology overuse on other devices like tablets and PCs. Now, I would like to introduce you all to Digital Wellbeing Experiments by Google. Google has created this open source library of apps and products which promote digital well-being among smartphone users. I would encourage you all to explore and try out these experiments and gain some insights into your smartphone usage behavior. You can also create and submit your own experiments. I will be interested to hear some of your ideas and maybe we can collaborate to build and publish an experiment. Here's my idea for such an app, and it builds on the two previous researches. A detailed analysis of user interface of apps like Facebook and Instagram, which users find distracting, and design targeted interventions to reduce the visual appeal of their UI. Behavior analysis for identifying that what causes the users to stop using these apps will help in designing user experiences which reduce distractions. Lastly, both the researchers mentioned using social interventions for promoting non-use among the users, but their apps did not implement this feature. I would like to hear your ideas on how we can design social interventions for simultaneously reducing smartphone usage and also increasing social interactions among people. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and I hope to answer your questions in the discussion section.